This is a piece of Forest New South Wales doublespeak. They say that this is single tree selection when in fact we can see by ocular evidence that it's clear felling. Once you place a person in the landscape, you can kind of see how bad it is. If you live in a town on the south coast, you're no more than 10 minutes away from a logging operation. There's currently 23, I think. Is it 23?
Roughly,
yeah, 23 operations
on
active at the moment on the southeast. They're logging rainforest and old growth. What else?
Yeah, it's all good habitat for all the threatened species that are ever increasing in numbers, or to meet some wood supply agreements for 3 companies.
Yellow-belly gliders, sooty owls, powerful owls, masked owls, barn owls, glossy black cockatoos,
various bats.
Lots of bats. There's some endangered species. Of course, koalas haven't been listed as endangered, but they are, because we don't have that many of them left on the south. 80% of the forest is wood chipped. It goes down to the chip mill. And as you can see, the waste, they talk about waste wood, we only use waste wood for wood chips, is a complete erroneous statement. The waste they leave on the ground is the trees, and they take the logs.
But, I've been watching forestry since the Forestry and National Park Estate Act went through the Upper House back in 1998. I was actually there that night. And I haven't seen any improvements or adaptive management being utilised by the forestry agency to improve their methods. There's so many grey areas and so many little weasel words and ambiguities that the forestry can utilise and argue their way out of virtually any situation.
Section 40 of the RFA states that third parties or citizens cannot litigate, cannot take them to court if there is a breach of any of these acts. And some of these breaches that we've seen have been quite serious. Breaches that if you were a private person on private land, you would be fined thousands of dollars. Okay, so the first compartment they did, there were documented 118 breaches, and they were just administrative breaches. We're not talking logging breaches. There were 55 logging breaches, and for that they received, we don't even know, did they get a warning letter? There is no avenue for third. That's why we put our bodies on the line. That's why we stand in front of the log trucks. That's why we have no other choice other than to protest with our physicality. Forest New South Wales talk about harvesting. They harvest the trees. As you can see, this is not harvesting, this is devastation. Harvesting implies planting and watering and nurturing, none of which they do. They burn after, so they've chopped, they've slashed, they leave all this waste on the floor of the forest, and then they burn. It would be all right to burn a forest if it was a small burn, a slow burn, a little creeping burn. Burns are okay, but what they do is just spark it up. And then what happens is it burns so hot that it kills anything underneath it. One of our roles is that people in the community do come to us and say, can you help? Is there something that you can do? They're logging. Have you seen what they've done? Is the catch cry. Have you seen what they've done over, we'll say, Mogo or, you know, Buckenbower, or have you seen what they've done? Can you help us? Well, yeah, we can. In some ways, we can, you know, maybe stop the logging for a day or a week. But really, we can't do anything, to be honest. I just don't know why they do it.
When you see a jinker go by with logs going to the chip mill, that's about $200 worth of wood on the back of the truck.
Why does it continue?
Yeah, it's just farcical, really. So we just do what we can, and we're going to keep doing it till we hopefully get a good result. How long that will take, we don't know.
I think it feels close. It feels like there is hope. If the power station, no, I shouldn't say if, the power station proposal will fail. Nobody wants it. They've lied to the Eden community. That would be the only saving grace for the wood chip industry. At the moment, they can't sell their wood chips. The chip piles are piling up. They're not making any money. Their resource security is dwindling out the door because they're overlogging. I feel like there's an end in sight. If the power station gets up, it's be a different story. So we are asking people to help save the southeast forest. You know, talk to your MPs, write letters, ring them up. We certainly don't want a wood-fired power station on the south coast. People could check out our website, www.myspace.com/Southeast Forest Rescue, all one word, if they need more information.
And just have to pester the politicians
Yeah.
as often as they can.
Yeah, write to your pollies,
Pester
ring
the
them
Premier,
up, stand in
pester
front
the
of their
Prime Minister.
office. Yeah.
Yeah, just need lots of letters and emails and phone calls on a constant basis.
They're losing heaps of money. They're not making any money at all. They're wrecking our environment. Threatened species are dying. It's all going to the chip mill. Come on down.